is enlightenment?
Enlightenment. We see beyond things that you see them as real, think it's real. But shadows or
It's very silent. Let's put it that way, very central. And for the most part, it's not what we expect. At least most of us. We have some exalted idea of what enlightenment is. I certainly did. Carol, what do you think about enlightenment? You've certainly heard the term before, right? What is enlightenment? Very good. There's nothing to be said about it.
next.
There's nothing to be said, really. It's just silence. Silence. Become still. Become still. Nothing flashy. Nothing flashy about enlightenment at all. Life goes on just as it did before. And you've heard the expression, before enlightenment, drinking tea, after enlightenment, drinking tea. Have you heard that expression? Yes? No?
Oh no.
It's the Chinese, issues out of the Chinese tradition. Does it make sense? Before enlightenment, drinking tea, after enlightenment, drinking tea.
Isn't tea supposed to relax you?
Yes, actually, but it's not about that really. I mean, it's interesting you should say that.
I mean, I don't find it that it relaxes me, but I think other people
Yes,
feel that way.
yes, but it's more like if they're saying nothing really much changes. Before enlightenment, you were doing your thing. After enlightenment, you're still drinking your tea and life goes on. And what they're trying to say is something stops happening, and that is you stop seeking enlightenment. You stop seeking. Something in you finally, in a way, wakes up and says, what am I doing? You know, you're striving, you're always striving to find the answer, to find the freedom, to find the something that will end suffering. And it's like you're being shifts from trying to get somewhere to stopping. And how does that happen? It's like you've tried, you've been having a battle all along with yourself. I want to be enlightened. I want to be this way or that way. I want what their idea of enlightenment is. there is still a little bit of suffering going on, even after enlightenment, but not that much. Not that much. And you've quit seeking, absolutely quit seeking. Because things happen in the world, and they still happen, they still go on happening. Things happen. You'll lose a loved one, and that's not going to feel good, no matter how enlightened you are. But what happens, it doesn't sink deep into your being, and you get dragged down into it, and you just stay there. Like some people never recover, or they'll never get another dog when their old buddy died. Can't withstand the pain of the loss. It's just everything comes straight up correctly. And what happens is the egoic self dissolves. The sense of me, and I'm going to get somewhere, dissolves. You don't care anymore. The main thing is you just don't care. That's the thing to remember about this course. You just don't care. You've been struggling to get somewhere and it doesn't work. You're trying to seek something and it doesn't work. And deep inside your being, you're registering this all along, that it doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? Because you've identified with the egoic self, with a me that's trying to get enlightened. And that thing will die eventually because you're fighting against some kind of illusory idea, and you're using the ego to get there. And something in you at a very deep level begins to shift. And you just don't care. Enlightened, unenlightened, it doesn't matter. And it's kind of like, and then maybe you'll get one or two, as in my case, big hits, as it were, like where you suddenly walk across a gulf. For example, you suddenly decide, well, what if I did this, I would feel the wrath of God descend on me. Everyone has their own particular trip that will say, I can't do that because I'll feel something. Well, one fine day, and it just happens to you. One fine day you just say, I don't care. I'll wait for the wrath of God to hit me. I just don't care. Amazing. There's nothing really to be afraid of ever. And there is no wrath of God. There's only, God is just, it's what we make of it. God is just reality, it's just consciousness. But I have discovered that the basis is love. When everything gets melted away and you're not hanging on to ideas and thoughts and judgments and fears and anything, you just don't care, what's left is love. And I found that out quite by surprise. So I wasn't looking for anything like that. So that is enlightenment. Enlightenment is coming to rest. It's just relaxing with a cup of tea. Relaxing with a cup of tea.
It started very early on with you doing this. And when did you recognize?
Oh, it took it started with, I formally started. Actually, we all start from a very young age. And we have opportunities from a very young age to transcend. My father gave me some good lessons as a child. He happened to be a little bit of a tyrant. So I learned.
It's like every stage of education.
It was-
Another education, right?
The education in dissolving the ego, where you find you don't have power.
Learn a skill, I'm not talking about studies.
No, of course not. Of course not.
Experiences.
Experiences
Right.
where you realize you don't have power. And as a little girl, you know, I remember I had quite a bit of power. And what's the word? Pushback. And I remember, anyway, point is you push back and then the world comes at you and you dissolve. You just, and you've got to have a healthy ego, however, to embark on a spiritual journey later on in life. You have to be strong. You have to be like a warrior. It has to be healthy. You can't be thinking of yourself as being capable of anything. We're just not you know, you have to have a good sense of self-confidence. You have to be healthy. I mean, healthy psychologically, and not to be feeling downtrodden and all of that, because then you have to go to a psychiatrist to get that all straightened out before you move on, you know, to higher states of awareness, and finally just to be free of it all. Because to be free of it all, you have to be very powerfully strong, and not have succumbed to the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune that follow you on a spiritual path. Once you engage in it, it is like kind of like you're on the fast track. You're gonna get ding, 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 ding. You're gonna get to come up against things that you don't like. And that's,
Did you begin by reading with experiences? Did books, did certain writers influence your journey?
actually, well, I do remember, but I think the beginnings were when I lost my boyfriend back in my 30s.
Your boyfriend?
Yeah, that was a big shock. And after that, I started to go into spirituality. Nichi Shoshu, Japanese. I did that for maybe a year or two. Where you meditate at this thing and you want something. Their way of arriving at the truth is you want something, okay, and you get it. You meditate to the little, it's a writing inside a shrine, and you get what you want. Eventually you find out that whatever you get doesn't matter, it's not going to make you happy. And that's when you move on to a deeper or a higher thing where it's enough, it doesn't make you happy to get everything in the world, or you get a boyfriend or whatever. It doesn't give you happiness. So eventually you seek higher or deeper, and eventually the seeking stops, because it was all coming from an egoic self. And the knowledge is that we are not people. We're spirit. We're a being. That's the knowledge. We're unbounded. One unbounded consciousness. We're not individuals, though it might look like that from a certain visual perspective and from believing everything we were told from when we were born. You know that, oh, here you are, but really we're much vaster than that. So we get a certain myopic vision of what we are. And all this formal spiritual practice is to discover that we're much vaster than we realize. That we have a lot of power, I mean, God's power. And that why get so upset about everything once you realize your vast consciousness? Why get upset?
Because there's nothing to do that.
In any case. And if you're on a formal spiritual path, it's not going to work out. Because you want enlightenment primarily, and you're not going to have your little desires met. It's got, the way it's going to go away is when you accept whatever is there. Accept it. That's how it will dissolve. When you just don't care anymore, then it will dissolve. I remember my teacher, when I finally gave up a particular very strong attachment, I gave it up, but he kept testing me over and over again. He wasn't sure I'd given it up. We tested over and over again. God has to be sure that we really give it up, as it were. Your higher being will test you, make sure, as it were, that you really, I mean, you could say, oh, well, it's gone. Well, when you're working with a teacher, they may not be sure that you've given it up, and so they will test you to see. But as far as you're concerned, you've given it up. And you'll know if you've given it up yourself. You don't need a teacher to tell you that it's gone, that you just don't care anymore. The way to enlightenment, essentially, from all of my experience, it's a gradual process of letting go of attachment and of not minding what is, not being concerned about it anymore. It just doesn't rattle you anymore. It just doesn't, what's the word? So someone might rub you the wrong way and it just doesn't work. You don't react. So,
Do you feel emotionally for you, for us, many others feel it? I feel it, you must.
What's that?
A certain separation, a certain,
separation.
it's not perhaps separation, but I can be broken, I can be in a crowded room, but I am alone. I've always been an observer, perhaps this is a part of observing.
So that's what you mean by alone. Not everybody is aware.
But you're not committed, you see, to the action. I guess that's what I want to say. So everyone's having such a wonderful time, and then certain events, gatherings, and you're just sitting there as an observer.
As an observer, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, as an observer, and also when we think they're having such a good time, they're really not.
That's right. That's right.
They're not having a good time because there's no solid foundation for their happiness. It's very transitory.
Yeah.
it's ephemeral, it's just, it doesn't go deep. It's very superficial,
Yes.
very superficial. The outer layer here around us is very superficial. So you realize that, and you act as if, but you're not alone in that.
No,
There's not a sense of being alone. It's being quite content in your aloneness.
You're very quiet and content.
Quiet and content as an observer. Nevertheless, you can still go out and enjoy like-minded people, like I enjoy my friend Gina.
not always
To find those like-minded people.
That's the challenge.
Okay, but when you'll find like-minded people in situations like this.
Like this, yes. When you need it.
That's right, that's true.
Carol, if you need it, it's here.
That's true.
Otherwise, if you're at home, you're happy with your books and
I'm
whatever.
very.
So you're fine, you're fine. No requirements for you.
That requires a lot for the past few weeks.
What was that? Who were you reading? I forgot what
Yes.
Laura.
I was going to bring that to my thought.
What was the name of, was it to Adams? That's up there? That you were reading?
Well, it's,
Robert Adams, or did you, no?
no, this, a friend of mine left his library.
Oh, okay.
Books, I was looking through the photographs, and basically sitting, to meditate in the session, and I said, I mean, there's no, you can't escape the gaze.
Was it Ramana?
Yes.
Oh,
You can't escape just going through a book quickly. The gaze is
caught your
it's
attention.
so outstanding,
So Carol, that's also very meaningful on a deeper level if that sticks out at you.
Well,
Because that means there's a certain connectivity there
yes,
also
yes.
to be recognized. And there lies a lot of power for guidance.
Well, I read a little the passage of, there was a meeting of the writer of the book, and the meeting, and
With Ramana?
through a trip, pardon?
With Ramana, the meeting
Yes,
was,
yes, the
okay.
meeting was-
Okay. Mhm.
And his remarkable comments about the meeting, and clearly that he was,
Enlightened.
yes.
And had lots of power.
Yes.
Because you don't necessarily get a lot of power.
But can you imagine sitting, reading from your friend's
But all of a sudden, yeah, so that's good. It kind of, when did you read that?
where did I?
When?
Oh, that's why I've been reading the book about 400 pages, and I've been reading it. That's why I've been sitting at home. I couldn't, well, it's a
Put it down.
journey through India.
What was the name of the person that wrote it?
Oh, I will bring that next time.
Okay.
It was English, in the past, but it was an English, just taking a journey, and he was he was a writer as well.
I'm not very good at remembering, but I know who you mean.
Beautiful.
But I can't remember the
Oh, I
name.
can't, I just read the book.
And I don't have it here, right, the book by him?
I'm going to look,
Let's see.
I just couldn't believe how much, and there he was.
Well, that is amazing.
They're looking for,
Very meaningful.
yeah. well,
Very
that's
meaningful.
it.
Huh?
That's what the time here for. I never wanted to just mention that.
So,
But,
let's play a tape, short tape. From G again.
maybe you have one of his very early, while they didn't change it.
I think I know who to speak, but my memory's not good for names. They're the most difficult to conjure up quickly.
You are the person. All the wrong ideas about yourself is falling apart, falling out. And all is left here is a sense of space. And still the feeling I am is in that space. Still the feeling I exist is in that space. This is the grand discovery. Because what we are afraid of losing is you're afraid of losing consciousness more than you're afraid of losing the body. You don't need to go on a course for this. You're aware of the sense of existence. I am. This is natural. The feeling I am. Ordinarily, we are taking the feeling I am to be a person, to be unique or distinct, to be male or female, but really it is not that. The body is male or female. The body was born. The body grows and evolves and changes. And the I am tastes all these changes through the body. But the I amness itself, is it a body? The feeling of presence in the form that you take to be yourself, that you call I. When you say I, it is referring to presence. But somehow this presence gets associated very strongly with the body, through conditioning and education, and then the presence is taking itself to be the body. Then it says, I was born in this year, and I went to school here, these are my friends, this is my family, my past was like this, my future will be like this. It speaks like that. So it is hanging out in the modification of being a particular person, but really, strictly speaking, it is not a person. I wonder if you see this. So gradually, through these self-investigations, it is recognizing itself again, that I am not what I've been taught I am, because I can observe these qualities. And the moment there is observing, there's a sense of distance.
In other words, you're already, there's nothing to seek, he's saying. There's nothing to seek. And so some of us could get to that point right away. awake. You're already, some of us here may already know that. And that gives the freedom. But interesting what he said at the end. It's somewhere in the feeling I am, or the knowing of I am. It's even subtler. In my everyday life, I don't go around remembering that I am. You know, I don't go around saying, or even thinking, or even noting that I am. Nothing's going on. Nothing is going on. I'm just simply living, being, you know, just normal life, but without the, I mean, I remember what I was like before, and what I was like before was constantly caring about this, worried about that. Caught up, as it were, in everyday experiences. Caught up in it. The day goes by quite peacefully, for the most part.
See, now I do, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 times a day, I don't know. I do say to myself, I am. But then I add something to it.
And what do you add to it?
Well, I do this especially at night. I am happy, I am healthy, and I am wealthy.
Oh, so this is like affirmations, or what? This is not coming to the very source of your being.
See, that's what I don't understand.
The source of your being, you do understand. I mean, the thing of it is that you're identified with a person, right? And everything that is spoken of here is to try to get you to see deeper, that you're vaster than a person. In fact, you're not a person, in truth. If you're happy and wealthy, if you say, what do you say? I am
happy, healthy, and wealthy.
happy, healthy, but you still, I am these things. Still, you're identifying with a person. I am happy, I am wealthy, I am healthy. Yes. But you're not a person. And to get that, I understand, to get that, you have to quit having your energy be taken up by anything. I mean, it's okay to say those things, but do you then fall back into getting disturbed about this or that in your everyday life, or in association with others? Do you still find yourself brought up short?
Not as bad.
Not as bad.
Not as bad.
Very good. That's very good.
But then I say this at night, but then during the day I will say, I am. I am. It's just something that, I don't know, all of a sudden I'm doing this. But at night, it seems to,
I'm healthy, wealthy, and happy.
I don't know. Is that a bad thing?
It's not a bad thing. It's not about, nothing is bad. It's whatever works to make you feel free. And totally free, and with deepening sense of freedom. To finally come to the point of not identifying with the person at all. So you would, in association with others, for example, be spontaneous. You wouldn't be thinking. You would just simply be spontaneous. Your mind would not be getting in the way and filtering things out, because your knowledge is vaster and you can access it right away. How can I say this? Imagine you were a child and there's nothing to defend. You're just pure awareness, taking it all in, soaking it all up. Without computation, like, well, I don't know if I should be talking to this person, or I don't know. We just don't care. Maybe we just don't care. You want to let go. If you can say, I quit seeking, then you will know you're free. If you could say that and not blush. If you can say that, then you're not ego-driven. If you can say it without feeling an inner palpitation that you said something that's not quite what you feel. It's like the ego seeps in there. Oh, I'm not sure. You're absolutely 100% sure if you're free.
Society places us back into an outer ego.
A what?
Back into taking, say, the mail out of the mailbox. There's your name, there's your address, there is the bill today.
Yeah.
This every day, but that's just a part of daily lives and experiences.
Right.
That throws us right back,
It doesn't, it shouldn't.
comes right back at us.
You know, you don't want to, that's
That's interesting now.
Pardon?
I said that's interesting because I never thought about it.
That's what you experience every day.
I just don't even think about it.
about what you get, about your name and about your person.
It's not even,
That the society will identify you from the moment you're born as somebody. And it goes on for the whole of your life. You know, you will have bills in the mail and your name will be on it and all of this. But you don't care anymore that they call you so and so and so and so.
But you do know you must pay that bill on time and you must.
That's fine, and your mind is used to that function. Just that's it. Don't go to your mind to find the truth of who you are. You do all your little things, kind of like fun. Paying the bills today, a lot of bills to pay today. And you enjoy it. It's so simple. The truth is, it's freedom is undefinable. Undefinable. You're free. You're relaxed. You've come and settled down. Nothing's going on that could cause you, And if there is stuff, I have found, since it's seeking the stuff, it's just from the love of wanting to have that be just according to the self, according to God, in its pure state. You love making yourself be absolutely lined up with God and your true self. You love that. So when you see yourself doing something strange, immediately it's corrected. Or you learn from it right away. You want to have it be correct, in line with truth. For the love of that. Simply for the love of that. Not for seeking to be a better person anymore. Or to be, just simply because you love it. You love the truth. You're in love with love. You love that. You do not love attending parties that bore you to death. But even then, you can be very detached and go and be part of it, and it doesn't affect you anymore. That's the thing. I read from Castaneda Time that if he went to a party and indulged in all this dumb action, the superficiality and all this, he'd go away feeling drained. Because it spent so much time purifying and dropping the ego and getting on, and then he goes and he still hasn't gotten free, by the way, but then he goes and he jams himself up with a lower vibratory thing, a lower vibration, and that made him drainer. But then nowadays, at least for me, I go to a party, I don't go unless I really feel, it's sort of part of what my husband wants to do, so I go. I don't get drained at all. It's just like in one ear and out the other.
Yes, yes.
Or not affected.
Physical body is
The physical body, and it used to be I'd be very concerned about getting drained by others.
well, absolutely.
That doesn't, my mind doesn't go there. My mind simply doesn't go there. Doesn't go there. So that's one of the outcomes of being free. I mean, I never realized that till right now, that I haven't thought about being drained by anybody in a long time. Yes. So the focus really should be, Alice, is on wanting to find liberation and taking note whenever you find yourself in opposition or somehow jangled by people. Taking note of that and then working with it. Meaning I mean to say, take a look at why should there be any reactivity at all? The people doing their own thing, and you have nothing to do with it. Your being has nothing to do with it. Disentangle. And don't be concerned. If you can do the I am every day, that will, I believe, influence your being. I am. Your existence itself. That in translating I am, what you're really saying is I exist, but not as a person. I exist as consciousness. And when you say I am healthy, wealthy, and this, you're really identifying your body and your mind as that, and you're not that. You're not a person who is wealthy, healthy, and happy. You are vast consciousness, you're not a person. So work on resolving where your energy is trapped with others. Usually that's our issue with others, and then resolve it, or ask for guidance on how to do this, so that you let it go. That's the whole business of let it go. We don't care. And don't worry that you're stuffing it. It will resolve itself. I keep saying over and over again, there is God, your true self. And the guidance comes from there. Guidance comes from there, and it's very powerful. You as consciousness is very powerful. when we just identify with a smidgen of this, we say, I am this little form, when you're really much vaster than that. I am this, and then you what's the word? You sell yourself short by identifying like that with a person. It's very interesting. I was praying for Mariella because I was asked by a group of people to pray for somebody else. So I included Mariella in our group. I'd never done this before, but my friend from 30 years ago asked me to join in a little prayer thing to help with a person that had cancer, and then I included Mariella, who also has cancer. So I was sitting there, and I'm not into prayer over and over and over and over again, begging. I just simply made a quiet request, and suddenly I was saying, please, if it is your will, this is what I said, please, if it is your will, make Mariella well. And then suddenly I go, your will? That's my will. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're so accustomed to making prayer like that. I said to myself, I am the one, and it is my will that I have this be. See? Even then, how subtle it is to identify with something separate from the reality. It comes in, it still comes in. So I realized that even as I was saying it, what do you mean? Your will, let your will be done. Who's your? You are that. So directly, it is my will. I want it to be that. Yeah. So, can I remember next time there's a way to bring my magnet for you to sit through this with the magnet on your leg? I keep forgetting.
It's okay,
No, it's not. I want to do it, but I can't remember. Let me see. I'll put it on a post-it note.
You know, I have to change the subject. I could be right or wrong, I don't know. Maybe one of the reasons why we're not getting more people.
Why?
Because a lot of people are very religious.
Yeah, I think you said that
A
before.
lot
I
of people go
figured.
to church, you know, it doesn't matter.
But the Jewish people, I've noticed, are a little bit more open.
Oh, I don't know.
Do they go
about
to synagogues on Monday
Yeah.
and Sunday?
that. Yeah, but not like,
You don't think so? Okay.
they do, but religious people aren't going to come to us.
And if you've noticed, whenever somebody has come and they've turned out to be Christian,
They don't know.
well, yes, but I also encourage them to stay with their religion and add a little meditation practice on their own with their religiousness. They won't come back.
Have you ever put anything in there and Four Seasons?
Now it's like I keep thinking about it. I look at it. Four Seasons.
You just go to the house and not be wrong and travel that far. I see it. Okay, you know what, I have a friend that lives there, and I'm just wondering, see, you're an outsider, if she puts it in and gives a name and a phone number to call, it's not saying where she, if you live there or what. But,
So you have a friend.
yeah, okay, write something up and just put your name.
I have those posters, maybe next, I think we're out of them on the bulletin board. There's a posted there, but maybe I will,
And if I hand this to her,
yeah.
and if she puts it in, the people aren't, they're not gonna know that you live here unless they call you.
I see. And so when they find out that I live here, that means that,
Well, no, I mean, see, I don't know if, because you don't live there, if you can put something up. But if I give something to my friend, and you're not saying where you live, you're just putting your name and number.
it shouldn't matter to them that it's right here at Sun Lake, should
Oh,
it?
I don't know. I,
Yeah.
see this, I don't know.
Yeah. A lot of people, not a lot, I don't know, a few people come to paddle tennis or ping pong Four Seasons are here. So if they knew there was a meditation going on, and we had there more than one.
Yeah, but will they let you put it up saying that you live in Sun Lakes? Sure, a lot of people come.
You know, that poster I have already does not have Sun Lakes written on it. So that would work. Then they call me up
Right.
and say, where is this?
Then you can say.
Well, wait, I think I said it, multi-purpose. I say that.
Well, maybe you should just change it.
Change that for them. Anyway, we need a few more people. Still in all, when this, what was the statement in the Bible or something that said, anyone that, any two or more people are gathered in my name, is it two or more or three or more, that are gathered in my name, then that's where I will be, meaning the self is.
I read it.
Huh?
I read that too.
Yeah. I am there also, meaning the self is there, meaning consciousness is there, and that is there. Oh my, it's almost been after 4 hours. So, we'll sign off, but thank you for coming.
Thank you for being here every week. Keeping us spiritually grounded.
Okay.
Riddle.
Good that you could come, Carol.
But,
Good that you good that you could come.
I are
I don't think I've had this close to me, but maybe.
I am loyal, I really am.
You are what?
To the group, I am loyal to. the
Oh, Lord,
group.
yeah.
Partially you, but somehow,
You got involved in something else.
what?
You got involved in something else.
Well, I did, yeah, reading.
Reading the book.
I will come in here. That I should be reading, I say, and I do get involved, yeah, all of that.
Well, anyway, if you enjoy it and you remember that you
But I
enjoyed it
always
today,
hear, I'm here, I don't know, when I'm not here, it seems like I'm here, I'm thinking,
but if you enjoy it, then come and then remember. Also on Sunday, so if you just Wednesday, Sunday, 11:30, here.
And you are very important in my life, absolutely. It's just to be in some ways.
Well, when you come,
I don't know, I don't do, I don't.
and when you come, you're actually assisting in the group.
Yeah.
Because it's not just about me, but it's about the whole group together, and it helps.
Yeah.
The more, the merrier. Yeah, but it's also very helpful. Yeah, because if you have a question or comment, then I can say something more or whatever. So, okay, well, thank you for coming, Carol, and maybe I'll see you next Wednesday.
I hope so too. I really do.
And then I've got-
I want to bring the name.
That person, yeah.
I will do that.
Good to see you.
Nice to